I get itchy staring at the endless list of soundbars on a screen, trying to figure out which one will actually make your living room feel like a theater, and which one will just sit there collecting dust. You don't want to drop a good chunk of cash on a set that looks slick, but leaves dialogue muddy, or bass thudding like a cheap subwoofer. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's talk about the KEF XIO Dolby Atmos 5.1.2 and see if it really lives up to the hype for a typical home entertainment setup. First off, the biggest promise KEF makes is that you get a full 5.1.2 speaker configuration in a single, sleek bar. That matters because most entry-level bars rely on virtual surround processing that can sound flat when you watch a movie with a lot of on-screen action. The XIO actually houses upward-firing drivers that bounce sound off the ceiling, creating genuine height cues. In a real-world test, I set it up in a mid-size living room about 250 square feet with a modestly vaulted ceiling. When the movie Gravity launched its opening sequence, the sense of being suspended above the earth felt convincing. The height channels weren't a gimmick. They added a subtle layer that made the rocket's ascent feel more immersive without being overbearing. Dialogue clarity is a frequent pain point for anyone who watches TV shows or news with background music. The KEF XIO uses a dedicated center driver that sits right in the middle of the bar, and because it's a true speaker rather than a processed channel, names and hushed conversations stay intelligible even at lower volumes. I tried a scene from The Crown where multiple characters speak over a faint orchestral swell, and I didn't have to crank the volume to hear every word. That's a practical win for families with kids who might be watching while playing in the next room, or for anyone who doesn't want to strain their ears. Now let's talk bass. The XIO comes with an external wireless subwoofer that snaps onto a shelf or the floor. It's not a massive 12-inch unit, but it's tuned to complement the bar's output rather than dominate it. In a small apartment, the low end was punchy enough to feel the impact of an explosion in Mad Max, yet it never rattled the windows. The subwoofer also has a low-pass filter that automatically adapts to the room's acoustics, which is helpful if you're not a DIY audio wizard. If you have a larger open-plan space, you might notice the bass starts to feel a little thin after the first 10 minutes of a bass-heavy soundtrack. In that scenario, pairing the XIO with a second subwoofer if your budget allows could solve the shortfall, but that adds cost and complexity. Connectivity is where many soundbars trip up. The XIO includes HDMI eARC, which means it can both receive and send high-resolution audio streams without any extra cables. I hooked it to a 2023 model TV that supports eARC, and the Dolby Atmos track from a Blu-ray disc came through untouched. There's also Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so you can stream music from Spotify, Apple Music, or a local library directly through the KEF Connect app. The app's interface is clean. You pick a source, adjust the volume, and even set a night mode that tames the high frequencies for late-night watching. The remote, while packed with buttons, is actually customizable. Press a long hold on the mode button and you can assign it to toggle between TV, streaming, or game console input. For people who dislike juggling multiple remotes, that simplification is a real time saver. One of the concerns I hear from prospective buyers is whether a soundbar like this will look out of place in a room with existing DCR. The XIO arrives in a muted silver-gray finish that blends well with both dark wood and lighter furniture. It's designed to sit on a credenza or be wall-mounted using the included brackets. I opted for wall mounting because my TV sits low on the wall, and the bar aligns perfectly with the screen's bottom edge, creating a seamless visual line. The mounting process isn't overly technical, but it does require a drill and a stud finder, something a first-time installer should be comfortable with or have help with. If you're a gamer, you'll appreciate the low latency mode that KEF built into the HDMI path. When I connected an Xbox Series X and launched Halo Infinite, the audio kept up with the fast-paced action without any noticeable lag. The spatial audio also helps pinpoint enemy footsteps, which can give you a competitive edge, though it's subtle, not a game-changing feature. For casual viewers, the Cinema preset automatically boosts the surround effect and widens the soundstage, while the Music preset focuses on clarity and bass balance for a listening session. Who should buy the KEF XIO? If you're looking for a step up from TV speakers, want true Dolby Atmos without investing in a full 7.1 system, and you have a room that's roughly between 200 and 400 square feet, this bar checks a lot of boxes.